shit! Hi everyone. Today we're checking out this solar Chug pedal by the man who owns the company Ola England. And I just got this pedal about a week ago. And I have a couple of gripes, we'll get into that. So today we're going to be demoing this pedal. And also, we're going to compare it against the Metal Zone and the REVV G3, which is one of my favorite distortion pedals, and the Apex Preamp, the Horizon Devices Apex Preamp. So we got a few pedals in the lineup, and I have the pedal going into the effects loop of this Hughes and Kettner Tubemeister Deluxe 20. So I'm bypassing the preamp. We're going into the power amp section. There's a touch of reverb there. There's a bit because reverb makes me happy, and I'm using my Kiesel Zeus with the Kiesel Lithium pickups, and this is the power amp tone. We're gonna fool around with the pedal a little bit. It's kind of like a Metal Zone with which has the knobs, above the other knob, a knob on top of a knob. Anyway, so you have your low gain and low frequency gain, high frequency gain. I can't put into words what it does, but I can let you hear how that sounds. You got a gain knob, you got a volume out and a gate, which is nice, and then you have your basic middle knob, which we'll get into. I find it doesn't do that much, and treble and presence, bass and depth. So this was the tone in the soundbite earlier. That's not the tone. This is the tone in the soundbite good sounding pedal, but it's $199 USD, made in China. Gripe number one. I'm paying $199 USD for a pedal made in China, as opposed to the REV, which is made in Canada. The Apex Preamp is made by MXR, and the Metal Zone is made in my country, here in Malaysia. So, what I didn't like about paying $199 on this pedal was that the knob upon the knob kind of thing. So the volume, overall volume output, and the gate knob. The issue with that I have is when I turn the bloody gate knob, the volume knob turns as well. I'm gonna put a little video here, and I can show you with a close-up cam that when I do that, the knob below turns as well. Now I've tried, I got a little Allen key, and I turned the knobs, and I tried tightening it and pushing it down lower and whatever, adjusting, it still does the same shit. So I have that tiny defect which I'm a little unhappy about. And number two, you can't really see the setting of the knobs if you're playing on a dark stage. So you really gotta use your ears, or you gotta really mark down where you have your favorite settings, because you really can't see them. I'm not sure if you can see it on the pedal cam, but the settings right now is with the low frequency, high frequency gain are about 4 o'clock. The gate is about at 1 o'clock. Gain is about at 2 o'clock. A lot of depth in my setting here, about 4 o'clock. Bass is somewhere, I don't know, I can't see. It's 1 o'clock. Middle about 2 o'clock. Presence at 9 and presence at 9.5, and treble at 9. So there's tons of high end in this pedal, because I guess when bypassing a preamp of an amp, you're gonna require a lot of high end compensate. So he kind of overcompensated it in this pedal. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly, let's just turn off the gate so you can hear, the volume knob, see? I'm turning the gate knob, not the volume knob, but the volume knob is turning along together. But But the gate works. It makes things silent. So right now at about 1 o'clock, now I like it just about here so it doesn't kill the sustain. It's still bearable, but if I turn the gate off, put back the volume where it was, there's a little hiss, just a little. And I can bear with that. I don't use gates when I play live. But let's turn up the gate now to about 12 o'clock. Let me check the volume one more time. I guess it's alright. So now let's start turning the knobs, alright? So I'm gonna turn each of the frequency bands here. So it's a depth knob. Turn the gain little. Now let's turn the bass knob. So the bass was around 12 o'clock just now, 12, 1 o'clock. I'm turning it down. Turning it all the way up. So I kind of like it between 12 and 1, not too much low end, but enough to give you a nice amount of chug. Next, let's check out the presence and treble. There's a fuck ton of presence and treble here. That's the presence all the way up. Lowered to where I like it before. Treble knob now is at 9. Let's crank it up. So there's a good amount of treble actually, it's not too biting. Just cut it to where I like it before, maybe a little higher. And now finally the low frequency and high frequency gain. So I have this pretty cranked up because I like the way it's saturated when it's in the high setting. I'm going to lower down the high frequency gain. So right now is at about 4 o'clock. All the way up. Can't really feel much happening, but let's now do the same with the low frequency knob. So that is right now at about 4 o'clock. Let's lower that down. So I can hear it kind of doing something like a precision drive thing. It's just tightening up the low end. So I guess that's useful when you're using a drop tune guitars or using like a 7 or 8 string, like an extended range kind of thing. But I like it cranked up with a 6 string. So next, the middle knob, all the way down, a bit unusable tones for me. All the way up. So not really affecting the lower mids as much, I'm guessing, because it's a very narrow middle frequency band, I guess I would say. So I don't know how well it'll work in a very dense mix when you're in a band with, you know, another inconsiderate guitarist and really loud basses and a keyboardist who uses 3 hands to play his keyboard. So I don't know how well it'll cut through, but props for this pedal being made for people who don't want to turn the knobs and really fine-tune things, because as it is, wherever you have the knobs, they kind of sound good no matter what. But my gripe is I paid $199 for a pedal and I expected the knobs to work, you know, not to disturb each other, you know, the out and the gate knob, and I expect to at least see where the settings could be. And of course I expect it to not be made in China, but that's just me. Now I'm going to quickly unplug this pedal. I'm going to plug in the Metal Zone just as a comparison, because I don't know, it just, the first time I saw this pedal, it just reminded me of like a refined Metal Zone kind of thing, just with you know, more usable controls and a noise gate. So this is the Metal Zone. Let's check the focus first. Oh, right. So anyway, I like the noise. Sounds good, doesn't it? I don't know, man. I could make the Metal Zone work, and it's like half the price, or less than half of the Chug. I'm probably just a cranky, grumpy old dude just commenting on how the Metal Zone is superior to the Chug pedal, when everyone is saying it's the greatest pedal ever. Well, Metal Zone just works, man. Sounds damn good for a pedal released in what, 80s, 90s? I can't remember. Sounds awesome. The only downside to this pedal, I think, for most people is if you turn the knob just a little bit, it's gonna drastically change the tone. So for example, if let's try turning the treble knob, okay? So those are really small turns, you know. I'm just going between like 11:30 to 12:30, I guess, in between 11 to 12 o'clock, in between 12 to 1 o'clock. So it's really easy to kind of like fuck up the tone if you turn it too much, you see. But I would say the Metal Zone has much more range in the middle frequency and the middle knob, so it affects the tone much more, which is very useful when you're playing in a very dense mix. You can easily find the frequency which is unoccupied and cut through the band. Metal Zone. Now, onto my one of my favorite pedals, which is the REVV G3. Now this pedal is probably the most different sounding one compared to all these three here, because the mid range on the REV is just something else. So, all right. So let's give it a listen. So right now I have the pedal in the toggle switch on the up position, which is the blue channel. So you can hear how much that kind of like barks and bites, and it's definitely going to be able to cut through a mix. However, I must comment that the G3 will probably sound better through the front of an amp, so you can kind of make use, because the pedal lacks treble when going through the power amp, and I guess it's best if it's going through the front instead of effects loop. And I'm going to start cranking the mid knob right now on this pedal. Turn the volume down a bit. Go to red mode. For some of you, that might sound a little harsh, but I think that if you are in a band, that tone is definitely going to cut through a mix. Now, onto the final pedal, the Apex Preamp. Now, I bought the Apex Preamp a long time ago, just for fun. Yeah, just for fun. I had the precision drive and I decided, gotta catch them all, you know. So, I ordered this pedal when it first came out. Is it in focus? Alright, so this pedal has a noise gate like the Chug pedal, but with the additional tight switch, so you can tighten up the bottom end if you want. Is it on? Yes, it's on. Off standby. Oh, it's quite quiet because without the gate, with the gate, I'm gonna crank it to about halfway now. I'm going to engage the tight switch. Is it on? No, it was engaged already. I'm going to turn down the gain. Apex Preamp. Saturated as fuck. It's a bit fizzy on the high end. It can be a little irritating, but I kind of need that much treble in order to sound good through the effects loop of the amp. But let me just tweak the EQ knobs for the sake of tweaking them. More gate, less gain. Tight switch off. Tight switch. Now let's quickly plug in the Chug pedal one more time, because just to remind ourselves how it sounds. Oh, it's over here. Oh my god. All this plugging in and unplugging. Where did I put you? Let me put you down here. Get down. Is it in pockets? Am I in the middle? Down. Left. Right. There. Okay, cool. Chug pedal, one more time. So very quickly, what I'm hearing is I definitely prefer this over the Apex Preamp. Less fizzy top end, and the low frequency gain and high frequency gain kind of acts like the tight function on that pedal. And also the cap sim on the Apex Preamp is absolute rubbish. Like, it's just dog shit. You don't even see Misha Mansoor using the cap sim, so he tends to use it with, like, you know, GGD stuff for his own IRs and stuff. So I'll prefer this over the Apex Preamp. I'm a bit torn between that and the G3. G3 sounds great to me. It definitely cuts through a band mix, I know for sure. I've yet to try this on live, so I cannot vouch for that. One gripe I have is probably because there's this plastic ring around the foot switch, so I guess if you're using it live and you keep stomping on it a lot, if you do, it could break that. But other than that, it's a great pedal. I think it's the same price, $199 USD as well, but it's handmade in Canada as opposed to Chug being made in China. I keep bringing that up, but what's not made in China anymore? And finally, the metal zone, man. The metal zone. I think if you can't afford the Chug pedal, metal zone does the job, man. Made in Malaysia, where I'm born. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments, man. What do you like? I have yet to hear any bad reviews or any defects about the pedal. If you do, please enlighten all of us. If you do, if you love it, let us know if you love it. If you prefer the other pedals over the Chug pedal, let us know in the comments, man. Give us a like, enjoy the video, subscribe, and I'll see you soon in the next one.